Hello again and welcome back to some climbing news. Got a lot of stuff to talk about today. We got the top moments from the World Championships that were held over the weekend, an update on how unionization has been going for climbing gyms across the United States, all kinds of hard sends, including Lee Sungsu's second repeat of Sosa 8C+/V16, and more. So yeah, as always, do the YouTube thing, like, comment with opinions, subscribe for more of these updates, and yeah man, start the show. And starting us off today, the IFSC Climbing World Championships have come and gone. By now, I'm just going to assume that you've seen the results, and because of that, I'm not going to give a boring old summary of what happened. Instead, I'm going to try something totally new. Let's talk about the top 15 moments from the lead and bouldering finals according to me. Yeah, that's right, we're doing a list. Here we go, man, no particular order. Number 15, the women looking like someone just murdered a beloved family pet in front of them as they watched Jernej top the lead route. Look, I know very little about a lot of things, but I'm pretty sure I just witnessed 6 souls leave 6 different bodies. 6 different women just absolutely die inside. And Zeliavezu, who was just having the time of her life. Number 14, the IFSC's just absolutely wonderful camera work and production values. You might be wondering to yourself what the point of having a split screen is if you're going to be showing the exact same athlete in both. But honestly, anyone who complains simply doesn't understand the magic that is being created when you get to watch an athlete standing on the mats in 2 angles instead of just one. Stop complaining that you miss seeing a top because of it. It's really not that important. You didn't need to see Mehdi doing men's boulder too, and if you thought you did, well, don't worry. The replay won't show it to you either because no one was filming it anyways. Really makes watching this stuff so easy. Just absolutely takes away all that nasty ambiguity that you just can't have as a fan. Number 13, Erin McNeese's try-hard faces on women's 4. You could tell she wanted it bad. You could tell she was suffering, that she was just absolutely wrecked from doing both events. Same as Annie Sanders, looking absolutely dejected throughout the finals in bouldering. But that try-hard, man, it's infectious. It also makes me wonder if there wasn't a better way of organizing this event. Semifinals for both men and women day 1, finals for both men and women day 2 maybe, in order to give the athletes time to rest. I don't know, perhaps a good idea? Number 12, the French team screaming. Yeah, Oriane yelling her ass off and suffering like crazy watching Mehdi on that last boulder, knowing she'd been in the exact same position as him just the day before, was incredible to watch. These 3 guys, I don't know who they are, but I freaking love it. Where does someone even find red overalls? And why is the blue guy the only one not wearing overalls at all? You'd think that would be like the easiest find of all of them. And the fact that it took Matt Grom literally asking the production director to put them on camera.
I think there's someone in white next to him. Mr. Director, if you can hear, can we please get a shot of the French team again at some point? I need to see that again.
There's also just more evidence that whoever's running these broadcasts has the same situational awareness of the parents of that one stupid kid that's running under everyone on the bouldering mats. God damn it. Number 11, that goddamn foot chip that took out both Jakob Schubert and Zeliavezu, leaving them in 7th and 6th place respectively. I mean, yeah, they both slipped on it. It looked terrible. They both ended up with rope under their leg, and not something anyone was expecting, especially not Che Hyun-seo. I mean, look at that reaction. No one saw something like this coming, not from someone as legendary as Jakob freaking Schubert, and not from someone who was just absolutely flowing through the bottom of the rig the way that Zeliavezu was doing. Throwback to the Paris Olympics when that one foot took out like half the competition. Such a bummer. Number 10, Ana Maria Appel's first ever top. Yeah, this one was also a flash, and yeah, just look at the joy on her face, man. Seriously, her first ever boulder finals, first ever appearance in a world championship, and her first ever top is a flash? She couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. She walked away with a smile. She made me smile. If that shit doesn't make you feel good about the world, then you might honestly be dead inside. Maybe go get that checked out. It's a little concerning. Number 9, Meichi and Mehdi climbing at the same time. Yeah. If you think seeing Erin McNeese's try-hard faces is going to be the best example of someone giving it their all, wait until you hear Matt Grom trying not to mix up their names.
Oh, sorry, Meichi flashes the zone. Wow. So Mehdi and Meichi.
This is going to be hard work for the whole final.
It's for me, I think.
I don't know what we as the community did to deserve this happening, but I loved every single second of it. It was wonderful, especially the fact that while these were two very different looking boulders, there were still similar enough moves that you could never be sure who Matt was referring to exactly while he was talking.
Right, Meichi does the foot swap. Mejdi falls.
Dude deserves some serious props for this one. And I mean, yeah, some kind of karmic reckoning there for God knows what. Number 8, speaking of things bringing a smile to your face, Janja's celebration of Rosa Record silver. Girl was more excited for her teammate getting second place than for the fact that she was the one that won the whole freaking thing. And honestly, 1, it shows that Janja is actually a pretty cool person, and 2, that she's gotten so used to winning, she probably doesn't even care anymore, which makes me just want to say, dude, stop with the comps and just go outdoors. Seriously, we know you want it, you know we want it, you know you want it, so just do it. Oh wait, that's Nike, not Adidas. Change sponsorships already, 510's cooked. Number 7, and speaking of Rosa Records silver medal, controversy abound with many people questioning the judge's decision not to give Chae Young-seo the points for clearly controlling this hold. I mean, look, here's Rosa on the hold, here's Chae Young on it. You tell me who had control and who did not. I'll let that one become a fight in the comments. Or it won't really be a fight. It's pretty freaking obvious. Number 6, this little moment from Do-Hyun Lee when he realizes he's guaranteed a medal for himself. And even further down the line, this other moment right here when he realizes he's won the whole thing and become the world champion in front of his home crowd. Honestly, as stuff like this, it's gotten me more and more into this whole competition climbing thing. Not much I can really add other than the fact that it's incredibly cool to see raw emotion like this on camera. Number 5, Janja's "You're Still Young" to an absolutely distraught Andy Sanders.
You're still young.
And the thing is, Janja's right. Annie is still young. With how well she's been climbing, there's also a huge chance she might very well win a world championship of her own. But it's just not the greatest timing to have someone say that to you when you've had one of the most frustrating competitions of your life, looking like you're about to literally break down after women's 2 and timing out a women's boulder 3. It's kind of a funny little faux pas. And number 4, speaking of things, the mic accidentally picked up. Sorato Anraku opted to have an interpreter for his post-finals interview. That job fell to Miho Nanaka, who left us this absolute gem of a moment.
God, I'm nervous.
Miho, you're a legend of competition climbing. It was such a bummer not to see her in the finals, but at least we got this. Number 3, all the men's reactions to Sorato Anraku's win. Tomoa and Meichi running up to him. Do-Hyun Lee literally lifting the guy up. And I mean, while I'm at it, just Sorato's entire reaction when he topped men's boulder 4. That guy looked super stressed out throughout the competition. Looked like everyone's expectations were really weighing on him. The fact that he missed out on the lead final is probably a huge factor in the pressure he was clearly under. And seeing that released as he won this thing was just absolutely incredible stuff. Number 2, the entire men's race to the finish, culminating in that final boulder between Do-Hyun Lee, Mehdi Schalk, and Sorato Anraku. That was absolutely incredible to watch. Palms were sweating, my heart was in my goddamn throat the entire time. Impossible to really know who would come out on top. Just an excellent end to an excellent competition. Always incredible to see when things come down to the wire like that. It's freaking awesome. Like, that was easily one of the best ones I've seen. And at number 1, Oriane Berton nearly dethroning Janja for the win. I mean, just an incredible showing from Oriane. 3 flashes for the first 3 boulders, and this whole thing, I mean, it really just felt like watching Sarah Connor running away from the Terminator. Seriously, like Janja was showing like no emotion throughout the final, just sending everything while Oriane did her best to stay ahead, and all of it culminating in women's problem number 4. Honestly, I think that's why it was so freaking emotional and captivating to see this thing go down, because at this point, the Janjanator is just absolutely inevitable. So you just freaking knew Oriane had one chance and that was it. And you know Oriane knew it too. I mean, like, just look at her reaction when she fell. She knew exactly what was gonna happen. And bonus, the Janjanator, I mean, I'm sorry, but like, look at this shit. That is terrifying. It's machine precision. There's no emotion there, just cold, calculating, sending. And now for the second time ever, the world champion for lead and boulder in the same year. Something that's only been done by her, a feat she managed in 2019, and Adam Ondra, which she did back in 2014. Honestly, if you at this point don't think Yanya is the greatest competition climber to ever live, I don't know what to tell you. You're just wrong. The level of composure you have to keep to continue performing at the highest possible level, to not let people's expectations of you weigh you down in any way, to be the only person to top the finals lead route, and to climb relatively poorly as she did in the bouldering final, because she was not perfect by any means, and yet still come out on top, knowing you need to perform on the last boulder, otherwise you lose. Yeah, she's the GOAT, and we're witnessing something absolutely historic. The girl's got ice in her veins. The Unioninator, man. Unioninator. And bonus, the IFSC being okay with this, but then doing this. I mean, you know, I guess you gotta stand by your principles, whatever those might be. I don't know. That's all I'm gonna say about that one. Touching that with a 10-foot pole. And then we gotta talk about climbing gym unionization again. Now, a few months ago, I made a video that more or less goes over the history of unionization in our industry. If you have not seen it, I highly recommend you check it out before you watch the rest of this segment. Here's a link to it right there, as well as another link to it in the description below. But to basically summarize what has been going on, workers at various gyms across the country have come together in order to fight for better pay, better working conditions, and better safety and health regulations. And they have been having an incredibly rough time. Companies like Movement Climbing, the biggest chain in the United States, are owned by private equity and are slowly being bled dry in order to extract every ounce of possible profit out of them. And as such, they've made even the simplest bit of negotiation processes practically impossible. We're talking about pay raises being non-existent, like the workers at all 3 movement gyms in New York City receiving wage raises that are so low, they're essentially pay cuts when compared to the rise of inflation. We're talking about people losing their jobs for organizing, like Max Dalso Mori, who was recently fired and banned from Touchstone gyms for pointing out potentially unsafe staffing issues to news outlets. We're talking about the first ever route setters strike being organized a few months ago in order to protest increased workloads without increased pays that also led to overuse injuries. And we're talking most recently a competition held at the Movement Long Island City where workers read a message to Movement's upper management and ownership. Here it is.
Decision to put forward the following list of urgent demands. We demand raises that at least match the rise of inflation in New York City. We demand the right to arbitrate over health and safety issues, the only real way to hold the company responsible. We demand that Harlem get the same tentative agreements as Movement LIC and Gowanus. And we demand a contract by the end of the year.
So look, I've said this before and I'll say it time and time again. The people working at the gyms we go to are directly responsible for what makes the climbing experience such a fun part of all of our lives. They deserve to be paid a living wage, they deserve to be treated with dignity and respect by their employers, and they absolutely deserve our support. Our collective attention span when it comes to stuff like this is incredibly short. Mine included. When I made that first video about gym unionization, everyone was talking about it. There were posts on Reddit, there was a climbing magazine article, there were Instagram campaigns, and now a lot of people have moved on. And while that's fairly normal, the people we see every day at the gyms we go to are still fighting for things as basic as having the company they work for sit down with them for more than just a couple of hours per month. Like, to give some context, it took 6 months for Touchstone Climbing to negotiate something as basic as whether or not the union could put up signs on a bulletin board at the gym. So with that said, I'm currently talking to a lot of people over at Climbing Workers United, making another long-form update on how unionization in the climbing world has been going that I will hopefully be able to publish within the coming month, so look out for that. But in the meantime, if you'd like to support your local gym, I'm putting links to the union's socials down in the description. Go give them some love because, yeah, man, they absolutely deserve that. They're also going to be a lot better about telling you what you can and can't do to help than me. And then switching gears back to the outdoor climbing world, let's talk about Sungsu Lee getting the second repeat of Sosa 8C plus V16. And apparently this is one that actually took Sungsu Lee quite a few sessions to get, 7 in total. And actually the dude seemed to have fallen more than 10 times on the final jump move, which is honestly not at all surprising. But can I just be real here for a second? That jump move, it's gotta be the lamest thing the climbing world has ever spit out, right? Like literally tucking your feet into a little itty bitty little cannonball so as to not touch the floor is just, I mean, it's like the definition of dorky. I'm sorry. And I love bouldering. It's just, it freaking is. And the mellow dudes trying their hardest to make it look all epic just makes it look so much worse. And look, I know it's a super hard climb. The move itself looks incredibly difficult. But like, I don't know, maybe let's just not publish everything we do and try to make it look epic, right? Just so I feel better about what I'm saying. Zach Gala, who got the FA, that dude's send of the process is like the definition of mega. It's so fucking cool. Which just makes Sosa in comparison look so lame. I'm sorry, it's a terrible boulder. Maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. Someone give me crap for saying this in the comments or something. Please prove me wrong. But look, in all honesty, if what you're looking for is pure difficulty, yeah, you got that in Sosa for sure. And Lee Sungsu is an absolute animal for sending 2 8C plus V16 boulders as quickly as he has. Seriously, the boulder being kind of bad does not take away from its difficulty at all, or from how impressive it is that he basically back-to-backed Sosa and Grand Illusion. Amazing stuff from him. And then Noah Wheeler just first go'd Topaz 8C V15. Now to be fair, Noah still hasn't flashed V15, which is something I'm really just drastically disappointed in him for, like on a deep and very personal level, even though we don't know each other and have never even spoken. And to be even more fair, he had apparently worked Topaz last year, had found new beta he thought could work, went into full training mode primarily climbing boards, and then went back to send first go. So it's a first go send of an 8C boulder, but also not really at all. And that is how you do a real good journalism right there. Speaking of good journalism, sources tell me Noah is headed to Europe this fall/winter, so gotta be cool to see what he gets on. Hopefully he tears the continent a new one. He said he's been training a lot of foot tension, so it makes me wonder, does anyone out there care to throw out a guess what tension he climbs he's thinking about getting on? My honest guess is it's Ephira, but let me know what you guys think. And then on to the trad world, where Jernej Kruder has just sent the Shark 514B or 8C, or I guess E10. Now the Shark is a route that was FA'd by Connor Herson, who was actually kind of gifted the FA by Didier Bertot, who just asked Connor not to flash his project, which is kind of hilarious. It's a bit of a funny anecdote thing that Connor is very easily one of the greatest trad climbers to ever live. But hey, we're talking about Jernej here, not Connor. And the fact is, while this route took Connor only 2 sessions to do, Jernej, who's also incredible at trad climbing, took 3 weeks, which is crazy. But still an incredible accomplishment. It seems Jernej tried the whole thing for a while with pre-placed gear and was only really able to get the confidence he needed to send when he only had 2 days left for his trip. So yeah, as he says, another last go, best go, and another did it the last try of the trip story. Something that keeps happening in this sport, and I don't know why. I do know why. It's like, let's be real, it's 100% the psychological effect of wanting something super, super badly that you try 1,000 times harder to do it. Like, it almost completely for sure is the reason that that works out for all the pro climbers. They have at least that in common. Put that on the Test Piece Climbing podcast or something. I don't fucking know. Next, last week I talked about Claudia Ghisolfi sending Trip Tectonic 9A, and this week we get to talk about her sending Tango to Nick, the 8C plus 514C right next to it. In fact, they're so close to each other that they share 5 draws, which is also coincidentally, or not at all, the reason why Claudia decided to try this route. Because if you've already done like half of it, and you've already done the one that's harder, why not give the easier one a try and get that tick? Am I right? Now, to be clear, I'm not giving Claudia shit here. I'm giving sport climbing shit. Because sport climbing does that a lot. And I'm sorry, but if boulders get less stars for being link-ups and half of sport climbing is all link-ups, then sport climbing kind of sucks. It's just the way the cookie crumbles, and I will die on that hill. Fight me. But again, in all seriousness, Tango to Nick is pretty freaking rad. It also does the whole tufa pinch thing that Trip Tectonic is so famous and unique for, which is just awesome. And Claudia definitely deserves every ounce of recognition she's going to get for sending those 2 routes. It's awesome, awesome stuff. And then Pablo Zamora has just gotten the FA of this boulder he's called Kora and proposed 8C/plus, which means 15/16. And okay, look, most people have never heard of Ollamoros. It's an alpine crag in Spain, about like 2-ish hours away from Madrid. And most people see a photo like this first one and think, you know, okay, cool. So it's like a super hard leftward traverse, difficult, yeah, but all that special, maybe not. But then you see this next picture, and yeah, If you want a better idea of how tall this thing is, here's a video of Jesus Munoz, aka Chuchi, doing another line on that boulder. It's a 7-8, but also, I mean, like way past the no-fall zone. That thing is easily as tall, if not taller, than the Peabody boulders in Bishop. But yeah, man, this is a pretty freaking rad FA. It's ballsy as all hell to go up that high and not shit yourself. I mean, I don't think I'd personally be capable of doing that. So huge props to Pablo for that one. Links to all his stuff are in the description down there. But hey, that was some climbing news. Thanks as always for watching. As always, there's not much left to say other than I hope you all have a good rest of the week. One last reminder to like and subscribe and comment if you haven't. It's helpful and it's encouraging for me. I will see you on Friday at the latest for the regular show. But in the meantime, of course, and as always, go climb some stuff.